Hi, I'm Laura Klaus. Welcome to UATV. We are here to provide you information about the mobility industry.
As a team, we're able to improve the quality of life for our customers.
It's a job that you get to feel good at the end of the day when you go home. You know from talking to the people and seeing their reactions on their families that you are actually changing their lives. You're impacting them, their futures.
We catch you coming in the front door and we find out what you're here for. And a lot of times we already know, which, you know, it's kind of great when you get to meet somebody or greet somebody and you know their names. They're like, oh, you remember me?
After you go through an injury, you need things to bring you back into the norm.
You just know what they're feeling when you make that eye contact with them, what joy and happiness that they're feeling and what's been brought back into their life.
I actually got to go inside his house and had him sign paperwork, and when I did that, he actually had tears in his eyes because now he actually had the opportunity to do anything he wanted to on his own now.
Welcome to UATV. We are here with Brian Garrison. He is a kinesiotherapist for the VA in Memphis, also a driver evaluator for the VA in Memphis, and an independent driver evaluator. So thank you for joining us today, Brian.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the industry and with the VA also?
Well, actually I started with my supervisor at the time was the driver evaluator, and he had been involved with it for quite some time, and he was just like, it was time for him to move on and start doing some different things, and I saw a need for it in Memphis, and it was my idea that I can maybe help some people out. That was my whole goal, getting involved with this, provide people an opportunity that they may not have before, so that's what we did.
All right, and can you explain to the veterans out there who will be using your services or any of our other customers who may be using your independent services, what they will experience through driver evaluation, how that works?
Well, first thing is I try to tell people is that I want them to feel comfortable with me and what I'm doing. That's the biggest thing, is that when most of the people, are really all the people I deal with, have been through something on a daily basis, and you have to be able to provide them a comfortable environment to be able to work with, to be able to do this type of training. So what I first of all want to tell them is expect for me to do my best to make them as comfortable as possible with what we're doing. As far as my guys there at the VA, we always have a nice, warm, inviting environment there in the hospital. We have our own little office, so you don't have a whole bunch of people around you staring at you while you're doing anything like that. It'll just be us two working together to kind of figure out exactly what's going to be the best solution as far as driver education, driver training for that particular patient.
Okay, and what would you say as far as if someone comes and works with the VA, what benefits are out there for service and non-connected and non-service connected veterans for this type of equipment?
Well, the VA, first of all, I say is a wonderful place for all our nation's veterans. I think they do a whole lot to help out those guys. And just being with that said, every patient is different. Every patient, as far as the equipment recommendations for that patient, is different. So as far as that goes, what I would say is that patient needs to come in and see their doctor first, get a consult, and then come in, and from that point I'll be able to kind of explain to them a little bit more about what they're eligible for as far as equipment goes, because it could be something as simple as a lifter going back of your vehicle all the way down to high-tech driving evaluation equipment. And of course, service connection has a lot to do with it, but just because you're not service connected doesn't mean that you're not eligible for any benefits. Just the actual driver evaluation itself is free to all veterans. You don't have to pay anything for that. But some of the other more advanced things you may have to pay for depending on whether you're service connected or not.
But you're always help them get back and provide an opportunity for them to get their mobility equipment around.
Right.
And they can also work with you on getting things like a wheelchair or scooter.
Right. And we also provide that evaluation within the hospital too. As far as the wheelchair evaluations, all that is taken care of in-house at the hospital. And like I said, if you are a veteran that you're serving in the United States military and you have some type of disability that requires you to have a wheelchair, and that's the key word, required. If you're required to have a wheelchair, then we'll provide that. We'll also provide a lift regardless of service connection.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about your favorite experience with working with United Access and helping the veterans and your independent customers?
I think one of my best moments working with United Access was with a patient that came back from the war, and he had a lot of things going on with him at the time. I think with him, he was really depressed and really down because he was not here in Memphis, but he was actually at another place, and he came in just requesting to see if he could actually drive again. Luckily, we have EMC equipment, which is electronic mobility controls. And with those controls, he was able to, again, learn how to drive, and we really took a lot of time to make sure we had the appropriate vehicle for him. And at that time, when we got done with that evaluation, I contacted United Access and talked with Bob and the rest of the guys about helping us get this veteran exactly what he needed. And they did a wonderful job in finding exactly what he needed, took the time to make sure everything worked fine for him and all that. And they were just instrumental in getting him back on the road again. And I'm glad to say that I've talked to him several times between now and then, and he's been traveling all over the country and everything like that. He's actually made a couple of trips back to Memphis since then. So I think he was one of my favorite stories as far as me doing driver education so far.
So getting back on the road gave him not only independence, but also opportunity to get that old attitude and fun attitude back.
Right.
That's an awesome story. Well, thank you so much for working with us. And can you tell the veterans out there who want to utilize your services in the Memphis area where they can find you?
I would tell them that you can reach me by email. My email address is bjg9921@hotmail.com, or you can reach me at bjg9921@yahoo.com. Either one of those email addresses will be fine. Also, you can reach me. My number is 601-497-0048, and I'll be more than happy to address any issues or needs that you may have concerning driver education.
And that number again was?
601-497-0048.
All right, or you can call United Access and we'll give you Brian's contact information also. But thank you very much for joining us, and make sure you call Brian if you need a driver evaluation.